Excellent. Happy Disability Pride Month, everyone. My name is Nico Meyering, and I have with me here, Jay, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jay Trivedi. For visual description, I'm wearing a blue color shirt with nice iron pants. I have black hair, brown or white face, with a unshaved beard, unfortunately, and it's an honor to be with you today. Happy Disability Pride Month, everyone.
Thank you. For a visual description of myself, I'm a white man with blonde hair, large black glasses, and a beige shirt, seated in front of a purple background. So for Disability Pride Month, I thought to ask some of my disabled friends some questions about their disabled experience. Jay, let's go ahead and get started. What does disability pride mean to you?
Well, so disability pride, it means to, when I think of disability pride, I think of the word pride. Okay, having the pride to fight for inclusiveness, having the pride to show that we can turn the tide and fight off the ableism that arises from the able-bodied. Having the pride to speak about our disability or any disability to those who are curious about it. Having the pride to advocate for or even communicate with those who have the same disability or may have a different disability. Also, having the pride to connect with employers who are serious about diversity and inclusiveness. Having the pride to fight off the issues affecting disability, such as personal, financial, as well as medical. And finally, having the pride in fighting for accessibility and flexibility. So that's what comes to mind when I think of disability pride.
Fantastic, thank you. With about 1 in 4 US adults having a disability, that's 25% of the national population, every issue is a disability issue. Disability pride doesn't mean that we are proud of our disabilities or even that we are okay with the symptoms and the needs of our bodies as a result of our conditions. It simply means finding strength in the disabled identity, community, collaboration, friendship, and support. And I think both Jay and I have received a lot of support and a lot of development from being a part of the disabled community. What are some lessons, Jay, that being disabled has taught you?
So lessons that having disability has taught me is,
yes,
it has taught me to advocate or speak about disabled life on podcasts, disabled organizations, as well as in the community. Also, I bring up my experience as a tutor for my past work experience. And, it really helped me understand some of the academic challenges disabled face in college. Also, it has also taught me that disability can't be transformed into a book, into a movie, or any type of industry. So, for example, we have the book, I'm sorry, I forgot the book. I forgot the name of the book. Laziness Does Not Exist by Dr. Devin Price. And then we also have a movie based on the diagnosis that me and Nico have called congenital central hyperventilation syndrome. And as you can see, I have a tracheostomy. Nico does not. So that's another lesson. So another good lesson, another lesson has taught me is that how to handle situations by myself, like ordering medical supplies, making appointments. Also, it has also taught me how to, when something is affecting your disability, whether it be a personal thing or it's a family thing, it has taught me to have the talk with the family. So that's the type of lessons being disabled has really taught me.
So you mentioned having the talk with your family. Can you talk about what that looked like for you or what that talk entailed?
Sure. So, some of the issues that may come up in, some of the conversations is about, uh, our experiences with being in the hospital. Maybe it could be a relationship experience, basically being able to talk about, you know, those types of things. Um, you know, also being able to think about what kind of what kind of changes we will have to make if, and in fact, I do have, you know, a medical issue. For example, like today, I had to be tested to see if I'm COVID positive. So we would have to think about if I did test positive, then we would need to think about how are we going to navigate my job and what kind of things can we look for if and so those are some examples of having the talk. If there's something that has like for example, if my dad travels to India to see family, and I feel very strong about an issue, I try to talk it out with him because it means a lot to me, and it really does affect my disability, and having to talk is really important.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's true. So when you are disabled, navigating all other systems of life becomes just a little bit more complicated, a little bit more complex, and managing your care on top of managing all other aspects of your life is in itself a full-time job.
Yes.
Disabled people are innovative and hardworking. We are creative and we are resourceful. If simply for the fact that we have to live in a world that is not designed for us.
And one more thing I do like to say is
Sure.
that, you know, even not just in the community where there's declusiveness, but, even in our personal lives, we want to have that inclusiveness. We want to be able to do the things that, we ever dreamed of. And I go back to the example of being able to advocate or somehow talk about my experience, just like Nico has. And I'm really grateful that now that I have a great education, a great career, I can spend the time to connect with others and talk about our disability in full length. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. This means a lot. What have you had to unlearn, shall we say, due to your disability experience? So this is kind of the reverse question of the last time.
Oh, okay. Because I wrote number 3 as non-disabled, that third question, but
Yes, that's true. We're going a bit out of order.
that's okay. Not a problem. So I have 2 things that I have unlearned.
Mm-hmm.
First, I learned one thing I had to unlearn is, I was raised to, get an excellent education and work experience ahead of everything else. And, over time, I learned that I can do all this while I am being an advocate for the disability community.
Mm-hmm.
And, excuse me. And the second thing I had to unlearn is that our expectation was to continue with my current employment. But over time, after much thought and after what I had to go through with COVID testing, I had thought about that maybe for my own better health and for the health of my family, it is better to have the access to work remotely from home. Whereas right now, I don't have that accessibility. I have to go to work in person. So I have more chances of getting sicker when I go to work in person than when I have to stay at home, because I am like in my own headquarters.
Yes, that's right. Remote work is an accessibility issue. Remote work is a disability issue. Thank you. I know that for myself, I was raised to always be productive, always be working. And I've had to, as a result of my disabled experience, expand my idea of what productivity is and what labor and work is. So resting is work, recovering from trauma is work, doing work that is revenue generating, so working a job or working a side hustle, that is work, but so is getting errands done or getting chores done or
Exactly.
staying on top of your medical appointments. It is all labor, and all labor requires some rest. And needing rest does not make you lazy. Needing rest makes you human.
Right. Right.
I always think that when you're disabled, you grow up with this tsunami, right? You're stuck in this ocean of coulds or shoulds, and you could nearly be drowning underneath the weight of everything everybody else wants you to be.
Right.
But what disability experience teaches us is that our lives can be what we want and who we want in them. And we're allowed to be okay with that. We're allowed to be happy. And ultimately, telling stories of disabled joy, telling stories of disabled success is an important part of being disabled. It's as important as succeeding ourselves. Jay, this brings us to our last question. What is one thing you want able-bodied people, so non-disabled people, to know about disability life?
I actually came up with two pieces of two answers for the.
I love it. Let's hear them.
The main one is, and I believe Marie has emphasized this a lot, is we matter. Disabled community matters. We want to fight for inclusiveness. So that's the first thing I want to emphasize to the non-disabled or all the able-bodied people who are not willing to understand, or who are willing to understand but have not experienced what we experience.
Right.
Second, our bodies may or may not function like regular human bodies. So, for example, CCHS affects our nervous system, and it can affect our productivity at work. It can affect the need to take breaks, but we should not be held accountable for having those types of challenges. So those are the two main things I want the non-disabled to know about.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jay. It's so important to highlight the fact that disabled people want to integrate into society and want to give back. I always love saying that we tend to the communities that have tended to us, and that's why we see older disabled generations mentoring and trying to make things easier for the next generation. Because ultimately, in terms of achievements, we want our generation's ceiling to be the next generation's floor, which is why people like you and I do these advocacy and outreach efforts and give of our time and of ourselves. Right. There's a word in Greek called meraki, and it's untranslatable into English, but it broadly means something like putting something of yourself in your work. And one thing I've learned about being disabled is that, you know, self-care can also be giving back to your community. Self-care can be advocating for yourself and people in your community. I know that both you and I are on the job hunt. So another thing I want people to know about disabled people is that not only do we want to work, we provide necessary perspective, necessary diversity. We have multifaceted talents and skill sets that make us assets to organizations willing to take a chance on us. Jay, do you have any last words or last thoughts?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Wait, there was one that did come to mind now. Now, by the way, excuse me. So I think I pretty much highlighted everything that I had taken down in my notes. Originally, I was going to type it, but because of my condition, I didn't really feel like writing down all these notes. But I did want to show off my sign, which was unreadable. I do apologize for that because it was just a last minute change. And so this sign says, it says, together we can turn the tide. So basically I use vocabulary from our CCHS Day t-shirts.
Yeah, several years ago.
And fight for inclusiveness with pride power. Because when we have pride, we are standing up to fight ableism and put a stop to declusiveness.
Thank you, Jay. Can you hang the
sign that I wanted to show off?
Excellent, excellent. I'll hold it up a little higher, please, so we get it all in
yes,
frame.
Sir.
Fantastic. There we go. There it is. Jay, thank you so much for your time. Where can people find you online if they want to connect with you further?
Yes. So everyone, you can find me on Facebook. My name is Jay Trivedi. I think 77, something like that. I honestly don't remember. Instagram, jt.trivedi. I am on LinkedIn. I believe it's Jay Trivedi only. I will be sending out, if anyone's interested, please connect with me. And if you have any great job offers for me, this will be really, really appreciative because I really am interested in remote work, and it's for the sake of my own health and the health of my family. And also, and I forgot to, never mind. I did tell you I have a trick. My background is the dining room. So that's my last visual. And I appreciate being here today. I want to congratulate Nico on his position as mayor, as assistant to the mayor. This was really, really a success in his life, and I hope his journey continues to strive for inclusiveness and diversity. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I did get recently named to the Mayor's Commission for People with Disabilities here in Philadelphia. So I'm excited to begin my commissioner term. I will close by saying that I have a wish, and this wish is for a miracle to occur. My wish is for kindness to become the prevailing trait of humanity. Kindness to the extent that we're able to save ourselves, our planet, and most importantly, each other from catastrophe. My name is Nico Meyering, and this is my friend JT. You can find me at Name Starts With N on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.